Hey guys, Saki here from SAKITECH, and in today's video I want to talk about the Pocophone F1 by Xiaomi. Now you may or you may not have heard of this phone. This is a $300 phone that has a Snapdragon 845 processor. Now the Snapdragon 845 processor is the latest processor on the market right now, running in most high-end smartphones that cost $700 to $1,000. So this guy at $300 has a Snapdragon 845 processor, 6 gigabytes of RAM, and this version has 64 gigabytes of storage. And of course the phone is right here. Let me just power this on, unlock it, and that's the Pocophone F1. It does have a notch on the top that houses a face unlock system. Not as advanced as a Face ID on the iPhone, but it does have a face unlock feature that works very well. Now, I'm going to do a quick unboxing of this so you can see what's inside, what the phone looks like. But before that, I do want to let you know that the phone was sent to me by Banggood.com, which is a massive online retailer that sells smartphones and various tech gadgets. I'll drop a link to that website down below so you can go check it out if you want to buy something. And if you want to take a look at the full specs of this smartphone, again, I'll drop a link down below to the Pocophone F1 on Banggood.com so you can go check it out. Anyway, let's do a quick unboxing. Take a look at what's in the box when you unbox the box. And then I'll just talk about some of the important highlights of the smartphone and whether or not it's the right phone for you or not. It is certainly a very appealing smartphone at $300 with some really amazing features. So let's dive in. Alright, so what we have here is we have the Pocophone by Xiaomi. So let's unbox this phone really quick. Let's see what's inside. So let me raise the box. Now I do like that yellow and black finish on the box. Okay, the box is out. There's the phone right here under this package. So you remove the package. In the package you just have a case for the Pocophone, which is nice to have. But there's the actual Pocophone. Let me just remove this real quick. So if I remove the Pocophone, on the top you'll see a couple of things that are written that are the highlights of the smartphone. So it has a Snapdragon 845 processor, it's got a liquid cooling system, it's got a dual AI camera on the back over here, as you can see, okay? And then you also have 4,000 milliamp hours of battery capacity, which is fantastic, as well as the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. If you look at the bottom here, you'll notice that we have a USB Type-C port. We have stereo speakers on this $300 phone. So the one speaker's at the bottom, one on the top over here, and of course we've got the notch. And then on the back we've got plastic. Okay, so this is not glass, this is not aluminum, there's no wireless charging on this one. This is plastic finish, and that's how they cut the cost so they can bring you something such as a Snapdragon 845 processor at $300. And of course the phone has 6 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. The phone also has, this is the side over here, power button, volume rockers. The phone also has a dual SIM card that also accepts a micro SD expansion card. And of course on the top you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So that's what you get when you unbox this phone. And of course you get a charger and a cable to charge that phone. Now when you buy this, this is the global version. Okay, let me just show you that. This is the global version of the phone. When you buy it, it still comes with the international version. If you're in the United States, you would have to buy an adapter like this so you can charge this phone. So basically this is gonna attach to the back of this guy, and then this will just connect to your power outlet. If you're not in the United States, if you have this kind of connectors, then you're good to go. But otherwise you would have to buy one of these or just use another charger that you have. Alright, but that's what you get in the box when you open up the Pocophone. Let me put this right here. That's the box. And then this is a couple things. Let me show you the case really quickly. Let me remove the case. Now here's a soft plastic case that's going to protect your phone until you go get a better looking case than this one. But this is great for quick protection for initial use. All right. Okay, so that was pretty incredible. The things that you get on this phone for $300 is quite astounding. One thing that I want to talk about really quickly is I want to talk to phone gamers, Android phone gamers. If you want a phone in which you can game to maximum quality, this is one of the phones to get. It's $300 and it's got the Snapdragon 845 processor. So the gaming experience, the overall performance on this phone is equal to something like the Note 9 or the S9, okay, or the OnePlus 6T. That is pretty impressive for a $300 price range. Now, like I said, to cut the costs, they go with a plastic back here, so you don't get wireless charging, you don't get a glass back or whatever. But if you say goodbye to those things, you're still getting the best processor on the market right now at that price. And if you want to game at the highest possible qualities for various games, this is a phone to consider. So it's great to game at a budget. And I'm not saying you're buying a low class, let's say you're buying a PlayStation just so you can game. You're not buying a PlayStation, you're buying a PlayStation 4 professional so you can game the best possible mobile games at this low price, okay? Other things that I want to talk about, also when you're gaming, because it does have a liquid cooling system, it's not going to overheat. So it's going to run at a nice cool temperature. So I wouldn't worry about the phone heating too much. I tried to play some games on it, some heavy duty graphical games, and I didn't notice any massive heating other than the usual that you get on all other phones. And of course, with a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, which is the same as a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, you're not going to have any problem having a full day of solid use. Now, it is essential to understand that the 4,000 milliamp hour battery on the Pocophone F1 is probably not as high quality as the 4,000 milliamp hour battery on the Note 9 or any other really high-end smartphone. But it still is going to give you one full day of solid use, and that's what most of us need, because then we go to sleep and charge our phones overnight and it's good to go for the next day. And again, going back to multimedia, going back to gaming, the screen is a 1080p screen. It's an IPS panel. It's not comparable to an OLED display. It's not as vibrant, but again, unless you're a scientist, you're not going to notice a huge difference for day-to-day use. You are going to see a difference when you put it side by side with some of the other high-end smartphones like the Samsung phones or the iPhones with their OLED displays. But again, you're not going to, it's not like we play games all the time by having comparisons all over the place. So you're going to get a great viewing experience on this smartphone at the 1080p screen resolution, and you're getting stereo speakers. So even the OnePlus 6T, which is around $600, $550, $600 in that range, does not have stereo speakers, but the Pocophone F1 does. Also has a 3.5mm headphone jack. So certainly for high-end multimedia and high-end gaming, this is a very good phone. It gives you all the necessary tools to enjoy a nice gaming multimedia rich experience if that's what you want to do. Now, one quick word on the camera. The camera is not very impressive. You have dual cameras. Now, in daylight, it works great. But if you are trying to take really nice looking night shots, which a lot of people don't, but if you're trying to do that, then you're not going to be satisfied with the low light performance on the smartphone. But the daylight photos are just as good as if you were taking them with an iPhone 7 or a 7 Plus, okay? So it's a very good camera in the daytime, not very good for videography, and not very good for low light conditions. But don't let that fool you. For $300, just think about this. Snapdragon 845, 6 gigabytes of RAM for smooth performance, 64 gigabytes of storage, which is enough, but you do get the micro SD card expansion if you want to expand the storage. And of course, you got the liquid cooling system, the 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and the stereo speakers, which makes this thing an amazing package. When you hold it in your hands, it does not feel cheap. Despite being plastic in the back, it still is not the kind of plastic where you press on it and it doesn't even feel like plastic. But it just feels nice and smooth, but it is quite obvious that it's not glass or aluminum, okay? Again, no wireless charging, no water resistance in these things, but you get the latest and greatest processor and a bunch of nice multimedia rich features. So I would recommend this phone for anybody, to be honest. Anybody that is not looking to buy a high-end phone because they don't have the money. If you have $300, this seems to be the best value on the market. I just cannot overemphasize how important it is that it has a Snapdragon 845 processor. So you are getting the best possible performance on a $300 phone. All right, but that's really all I want to say about this phone, about the Pocophone F1. If you are somebody in the market that has a budget and you're looking for a cheap phone, just skip every other phone that's $300 and get this one. Okay, like I said, I'm going to drop the links down below. Go check out the specs, compare them with other smartphones out there. But this is really the only phone right now with such a great processor, stereo speakers, 3.5mm headphone jack, micro SD card that is selling at this price point. All right, guys, if you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below and let me know. And of course, make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH. I will see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.